Hello and welcome to another edition of your favorite health program, NAFDAC and Your Health. This is where you get informed about NAFDAC's daily endeavor in safeguarding health. My name is Tosin Omolaja. Economies around the world are grappling with the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, and Nigeria is not left out of this challenge. With oil prices tumbling and government revenues plummeting, it has become imperative more than ever before to diversify the economy and find other ways of earning foreign exchange and revitalizing the economy. Exports, especially non-oil exports, has the potential of bringing the much-needed cushion to the economy. Through export trade, Nigeria earns vital foreign exchange, increases its revenue base, and could bridge its trade deficit gap. And NAFDAC plays a significant role in ensuring the process is efficient and productive for the economy.
When you talk trade, I see Nigeria flourishing. Without trade, we cannot flourish as a country. Without industry, we cannot flourish as a country. But we can manufacture here, but if we are not exporting, that makes it even better because now we're increasing our foreign exchange and things like that, and also increasing our GDP. That is how important export is to me personally and to me as the CEO of NAFDAC.
The exportation of locally processed and packaged food products is one potentially viable way of encouraging Nigerian farmers, food processors, and entrepreneurs. It is also an avenue to contribute to economic development. However, to maximally harness the benefits inherent in exports, it is of utmost necessity that international standards and quality are put into cognizance. This places the responsibility on NAFDAC as an agency in charge of food and drugs administration and control in Nigeria.
I inaugurated the export committee with PID leading it. And the goal is to make sure that we, as an agency, NAFDAC as an agency, plays the role that NAFDAC is supposed to be playing. In our mandate, we're supposed to control importation, exportation. And you cannot do exportation without making sure that what is being exported out will not be burnt, will not be destroyed because it didn't meet the country that is importing it, their specifications. Meaning, does it have chemical residue? Does it have aflatoxin? Mold? NAFDAC is the one that is supposed to be doing that.
Every year, billions of naira is lost in revenue to exporters and consequently Nigeria, because many of the agro-allied products being shipped out for export are rejected and destroyed in different parts of the world. This is a problem NAFDAC is working tirelessly to eradicate.
On sesame seeds that were exported and didn't meet the requirement, and the EU was going to burn it, or EU was going to reject it, actually rejected it, and whatever they're going to do with it. This is painful. For people to have invested money here and then lose it, and then Nigeria to be given the label country that doesn't test what they are exporting.
A lot of exporters, food exporters, don't come to NAFDAC, or not only food, regulated product exporters don't come to NAFDAC for proper guidance on what they need to do to get their products certified for export. A lot of these products are exported and they get rejected. And this rejection, in addition to the economic loss, it also brings a bad image to the country.
So as a result of that, when we got report of such consignments that were rejected, like sesame seed and other products, we had to invite them. We invited them here and we engaged them to let them know that you exported such a product and such product did not get NAFDAC certification. So some of them will give their reasons why. Some will say they were not aware, they didn't know that they should do that. But with the kind of engagement that we have put in place now, they are beginning to do things right, and they are really complying. That notwithstanding, we still have some challenges.
NAFDAC's regulations on exports are geared towards meeting international standards. And in doing this, peculiarities of countries where goods are exported to are also major considerations. And this makes it necessary for regulated products meant for export to go through NAFDAC.
We are part of Codex. Codex sets standards for all countries in terms of food. We know, EFSA knows what EU specifications are, what US specifications are, because all of us are part of Codex. So it is not like, oh, we don't know and we are doing things sheepishly or blindly. No. So that is the standards that we follow when we do testing in the lab.
We all know each country has its own specification. For example, in the EU, European Union, they have their own standards and their own specification. US has theirs. India has theirs. The final destination for this produce and the products will determine what to test for and the limit, the amount of those contaminants that should be in the produce. So that is why many of those produce are being rejected. There are various international standards. For example, in Nigeria, we have our own Nigerian industrial standards. That is NIS. Codex is an international standard, which is a kind of a benchmark. And every country, depending on their own situation, each country has the option to adapt its own standards, but basing it or using Codex as a benchmark. So we use, depending on the product itself and the parameters to be tested, we use all those standards. But of course, NIS, that's the Nigerian Industrial Standards, prevail over any other one. We are the clash. But let me also add that when products are being brought here for export, we sometimes ask the exporter, where is your final destination? Because we need to know the standard in being used in that destination. Standards that are in force in particular countries are developed based on various factors. For example, in Nigeria, just like in the average West African country, our environmental factors like temperature, like humidity, heat, is quite different from taking UK, for instance. UK is temperate, is cold, it's not as hot as Nigeria. So while setting standards in Nigeria, and Standard Organization of Nigeria is the Secretariat of Standard Setting in Nigeria, we consider these factors. It doesn't mean that the standards of a country is inferior to the other. We have had cases where we have even stricter standards than the EU. It depends on the products. And we also have cases where EU has stricter than Nigeria.
In line with the federal government directives looking at non-oil commodities as a means of enhancing economic growth in Nigeria, because most of the exporters that we have that could actually package their commodities, they are basically agricultural commodities and a few of pharmaceuticals and pesticides. So for those NAFDAC regulated products, we have a procedure with which we guide potential exporters. The procedure is such that you apply to NAFDAC, and when you apply to NAFDAC, there will be an inspection of the consignment you intend to export. When the inspection is carried out, the Food Safety and Applied Nutrition Directorate of the agency that carries out such inspections will write a report. And based on the report, what are they trying to do? They want to see how hygiene, the environment where such commodities are being packaged. And as a result of that, they will have to write a report. If there is any compliance directive to be issued, they will do that, and they will guide the exporter appropriately. And then there will be the need to sample the products. By sampling the products, they will send the products to the lab to ensure that all necessary parameters for quality and safety are in order, so that they will not meet reject at the country of destination.
NAFDAC's work towards standardizing exports out of Nigeria and providing the needed boost to supporting the government's drive towards diversifying the economy predates the advent of the coronavirus pandemic and its economic effects. In 2019, the agency launched an interagency summit aimed at ensuring that Nigerian exports, especially of regulated products, are acceptable globally.
Whatever we are controlling in terms of regulated products could apply also for exportation. I saw that we needed to do more, and that was why we are here today. We may be consumed as a country if we don't get our acts together and take exports seriously. Shipping Nigerian food alone can increase our foreign exchange so much. NAFDAC's mandate is to control exportation in terms of quality and acceptability. Standards Organization sets the standards, but we are supposed to regulate what goes out in terms of quality. And we are set up for that. But if we don't even know what NAFDAC does, what NAFDAC cannot do, how can sister agencies even direct? That's why we're here.
Among the agencies present at the roundtable talk were the Nigerian Shippers Council, the Standards Organization of Nigeria, the Nigeria Customs Service, the Nigerian Ports Authority, Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria. The forum also enabled the agencies to explain the extent to which they have been up to their responsibilities on the subject of discourse and the challenges militating against the full discharge of their duties.
We need space for doing examination. If we have this space, then we need to, what we are talking about here can be properly regulated, because you see what is going out. We used to receive alerts on fish, that our fish, when they are exported, you see those crawly things coming out of them. But not so with things coming from Ghana. So we really have to talk. I think the next meeting, we need as many exporters as possible to come so that we can talk to them.
With all the agencies having a better understanding of what is expected of them in ensuring the quality of exports, NAFDAC is confident that a renewed collaborative effort of all the agencies will, in no distant time, bring back the glory Nigeria should have from exporting goods to other parts of the world.
As you see from our discussion, there are ways to consolidate through enlightenment, targeted sensitization, consolidated testing of this product between SUN and NAFDAC. So all these things we want to make sure that our people understand that they have to go or do the right thing before they ship their products outside the country.
To ensure that regulated products meant for export from Nigeria are no longer rejected abroad, the agency engages in several activities, including advocacy and sensitization programs aimed at enlightening and educating stakeholders. Beyond all this, it also painstakingly checked these products in its laboratories across the country to international standards. So, exporters are encouraged to bring their products to NAFDAC before exporting them to avoid further economic losses.
Products for export are varied, and depending on the nature of the product meant for export, we identify the parameters to test for, including quality parameters and safety parameters. Essentially, on safety aspect, we test for contaminants. So here in this laboratory, we test for both quality and contaminants in the products meant for export. As I said earlier, a bulk of these products going for export are natural produce, which, as we said, they are agro-allied. And in agro-allied, a key contaminant of those products is what we call mycotoxin or aflatoxin, and also pesticide residues, which we all know currently in the country is on the increase. People indiscriminately just douse all these products with pesticides and several contaminants. So here we check mainly pesticide residues, heavy metals, and aflatoxins. Having aflatoxins in products, in the first place, the public should be aware that aflatoxins are chemicals. And toxins, of course, are poisonous chemicals. So having these aflatoxins beyond a certain limit in the produce, beans, cotton seed, melon seed, and so on, is very injurious to the health. At the extreme case, it can lead to death. Paralysis, cancer, it affects the heart. So they are varied, because even the chemicals themselves, aflatoxins, they are a group of chemicals, and each has its potency on human health. But the extreme case is, of course, death. One advantage that we have as a NAFDAC lab is that this laboratory is accredited for various methods. And that means all over the world, our results are accepted and they are acknowledged. We are accredited to ISO 17025. That's the accreditation for testing laboratories. And the accreditation has been renewed. And we are currently enjoying that accreditation. And we are putting it to service.
Let's go on a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. NAFDAC, as an agency, is poised to, within its capacity, ensure that the image of Nigeria is purified across the globe as far as exportation is concerned. In this regard, the agency is confident not just on the basis of its success so far, but also in the continued efforts.
There is no product that NAFDAC has given approval that has ever been returned at any foreign border. I can tell you that. I don't have any record of that. We are very certain, because before we give an approval to any product, before we certify any product for export, we do due diligence and ensure that this product, is fit for consumption and then fit for export. The unfortunate thing is that when products are going out, NAFDAC doesn't get to know. But when it is stopped at those foreign borders, NAFDAC is the one that gets the alert. And we get the complaints, and we have to now try to trace back and find out exactly what happened and how these products were exported.
The process of getting certificates and clearance to export has also been transformed and can be done electronically through what is known as the single check window, which can be accessed online at trade.gov.ng. All applications can be accessed, processed, and certificates received online. Whether it is the CCMFS, Combined Certificate of Manufacture and Free Sale, Health Certificate, COPP, Certificate of Pharmaceutical Products, and Export Permit. Documents required for registrations on the export platform include current GMP for the processed products that are duly registered by NAFDAC, NXP, which can be obtained from your bank, Nigerian Export Promotion Council certificates, and tax clearance. If the products to be exported are semi-processed products, then exporter must provide a phytosanitary certificate, which can be obtained from the agricultural quarantine, and the warehouse where products are domiciled would be inspected and products taken for laboratory analysis. The entire application process can be monitored by applicants online. The health and economic impacts of not doing these checks appropriately cannot be overemphasized. It's time now for the news on NAFDAC Update.
NAFDAC DG reiterates agency's commitment to its mandate. The Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, has urged the public to disregard those undermining the agency's genuine efforts aimed at trade facilitation and transparency in the system. According to her, NAFDAC will continue to consider constructive criticism in policy formulations to benefit consumers, food and drug manufacturers, and dealers. However, the agency is fully focused on delivering on its mandate. Professor Adeyeye also urged MSMEs to adhere to the agency's laws, regulations, and guidelines in the course of business to ensure quality and safety. She also mandated that all of the agency's processes must move from analog to digital systems to improve ease of doing business. In the same vein, the agency has fast-tracked electronic processing of goods and advanced to the release of imported products at the nation's ports. Safety measures to practice against COVID-19. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, implores Nigerians to strictly comply to the safety measures published by the Federal Ministry of Health and World Health Organization to ensure that the spread of the coronavirus is curtailed. Research is still ongoing to further understand the nature of the virus and provide vaccines for it. However, the public are advised to constantly maintain safety measures against COVID-19. Always wear a face mask when you are outdoors. Wash your hands with soap and water as regularly as possible and use only NAFDAC-approved alcohol-based hand sanitizers. Maintain social distancing. Avoid crowded places. Cover your mouth with your elbow when you sneeze or cough, or use a clean tissue paper and ensure that it is disposed properly and immediately.
For somebody to be sure that the mask is protective enough, the thickness is extremely important. Anybody that is going to be making masks now should choose the fabric carefully. If somebody has a barrier mask on and another person lights a cigarette lighter, for example, and that person can blow that cigarette lighter off, the barrier mask is not protective enough. If the person cannot blow that cigarette lighter off, then it is protective enough. It's a simple test, and I believe that our people can easily do that. We are very good at making sure that things are okay if we are guided well.
That's it on NAFDAC Update. You've been updated.
This is where we say goodbye on today's edition of the program, NAFDAC and Your Health. Join us again, same time, same station, next week for another insightful, fresh edition. Remember, safeguarding the health of the nation is our collective responsibility. So report fake and unwholesome food and drugs and activities that create them in your area. You may have questions, comments, or inquiries. Kindly contact us. You can reach NAFDAC via toll-free numbers. For inquiries, call 0700 162 3322. For complaints, please call 0800 162 3322 or email nafdac@nafdac.gov.ng. Till next week, stay safe.